Welcome back to V-Roll. I have a giveaway. Galarian Articuno tin from Crown Zenith going out to one lucky winner, 2 3-pack blisters from Stellar Crown, and a Pokemon Mystery Prize. 4 total winners to 4 lucky people with these amazing prizes. So all you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that bell. I post 7 days a week. I don't know if I'm the only person who does 7 long-form videos every week. It sure feels like it, though. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Somebody verify it below. Use that as your comment. I don't care. Whatever you got to do. Specifically, you got to go over to this video right here. That's the one. Do that video. Go there and leave an additional comment. I have it in the description below, so you don't even have to find exactly where that one is. Scrolling through 7 days a week. It's just way too many videos. Too much content. It's almost boring. It's so good. I'm amazing. Let's just say that. Okay, so today, what is it? It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So we do our works of art for Wednesday. That's what we would go through. And we've been going through each set one at a time from Modern, working our way back. And guess what? Stellar Crown's coming up in just a couple days. So next week is going to bring that one back to the top. We'll do that because it's being released, and we'll have to take a look at it. So for now, we are going to be finishing off the Scarlet and Violet era as it currently stands by doing Scarlet and Violet base. We'll also do the promos, and we still got to do the new sets, so it's not quite done. But for now, we're working our way through these sets over here. On Pokelector, you can see we've gone through quite a few. We're going to skip like the Trick or Trade, different sets there. Why is the 2023, 2024? That makes sense because Scarlet and Violet take it a while here. Match Battle. We're not doing these. We're not doing those little sets. We're doing like main, real sets. I know specialty sets are not main series, but they are bulky enough to go through. We're doing Scarlet and Violet. My gosh, I'm talking too much and not saying anything. Decent little set here. What do we got? 200 cards plus 60. So it's a pretty big set, actually. And this is probably the most affordable set to complete. If you're going to master any set and you want to have that experience, get a booster box or 2 of this. Open it up. Have that pack opening experience fun because it's cheap and affordable and possible. Not cheap. It's affordable. It's affordable and possible. Have that fun. And then buy your singles. Or you could go buy the singles probably for less than it costs to take 2 booster boxes. Honestly, pretty ridiculous. So we're going to be looking at, of course, illustration rares, special illustration rares, and our hyper rares in this case, since there's a handful of them. And if you're familiar with it, maybe you're not. So if you're not, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you are familiar with it, you know how I do this. I go through the true artwork, the still art category, neutral, and not going to last as far as artworks go. Now, I actually have a lot of trouble with this one because I was sifting through it and kind of making some determinations before recording that there's quite a few more feeling like that true artwork that I wasn't expecting. I felt like mid-set, easy to get, inexpensive, but it doesn't mean that the art isn't valuable or beautiful or worth taking or have storytelling ability. So I'm going to try to contain myself and scrutinize my own opinions a little bit further so I can split this up, because I had more than I thought for true artwork and more than I thought in the not going to last, and not a whole lot in the middle. So I'm going to try to spread this out a little bit. Let's keep it easy. Let's go with the gold. I love gold cards. I think they're fantastic. I think they're a nice little... It's not a gimmick, but let's call it that because I don't have a better word right now. Kind of like the rainbow rares that we saw in the Sword and Shield era. They were for a period of time and people liked them, but they didn't seem to have that value price-wise that people were looking for. Playability seems to be the only thing that puts something of a gold card high up on the list there as far as where the cost is at. So we can go through these quick. I think the energies are cool. I don't think these are like forever artworks. The rare candy's fine, probably in similar category. These full arts exist as a full art and a gold, so that's nice and all. I don't think anything hits that true art. I don't think anything hits that still art. I could say that we're going to go in the neutral category here because of the fact that it's a gold card itself. But there's actually a few I'm going to put in the not going to last just because I think we're going to have that problem trying to carry this for a long period of time. I think ultimately it'd be nice to have some of these, like especially the gold cards. They're not that difficult to obtain for the most part. But it'd be nice to have like a collection of just a gold binder. Relatively inexpensive, but it'd probably look pretty sweet when you're all said and done with it. So you can see I got neutral and not going to last going into those gold cards for the most part. The Pokemon making it into that neutral zone. The illustration rares. Now, we've seen on other sets, Paldea Evolved, the illustration rare of Magikarp exceeds everything price-wise. Takes the chase, all right? None of these are doing that. We're going to save that for the special illustration rare, which would be the more common practice that you would see, as we're going to see in Stellar Crown, that it's going to be special illustration rare topping out. I don't know about you, but I've watched a handful of openings. I'm not trying to go crazy or anything. And they're early openings right away. Tons of Squirtle, tons of Bulbasaur. So if that price still is cooking at $40, people are just being ridiculous for it. It's going to be, in my opinion, just on the pull rates alone, we're looking more like a $20 card there. So don't go crazy, and let's see what the market says a week or two after. That's a side note. There's not a lot of illustration rares in that one. This is kind of in the middle. Paldea Evolved had a ton. Stellar Crown, not a whole lot here. I think we have 24 for Scarlet and Violet base, so a good amount, but not crazy. And if you start scrolling through it, and I'm going to do that here, just to kind of show you, there's a similar feel, a similar color tone, a lot of browns, a lot of golds, a lot of yellows, some red peeking through, a little bit of orange, but this very warm tone for the most part. Now we have a little bit of cool tones coming out of that Wiglet. You have this here on the Dondozo, really cold blues coming through that warm tone. So things like that to consider and how they stand out. But you can see very quickly, blue, blue, blue. Those pop. Everything else is in this more muted, warm palette of things. Very interesting to take a look at, and something to think about, and how a set works together. How do artworks work together? And does one affect the other? Does the overwhelming simplicity and warm tone across the board bring it all down into one category for me to kind of say, oh, they're not holding up that much as an artwork because I'm being influenced? It's really hard to determine that, and I don't think there's any way to fully dissect it, so we're just going to do our best and fly through quite a few of these. I can say for a fact here, these are just not doing it for me here. I don't think we're in a not going to last. Yeah, we are. We had a couple in a not going to last here. But for the most part, we're just in a neutral zone. This is going to be a not going to last. I'm not feeling it. Where are we at? There we go. But we're going to go into more of a neutral zone on some of these here. Where were we at? You are here. The Cloth. Kind of a cool Pokemon, but I just don't have that hype for it there. I feel like we're missing a couple. Who were we looking at over there? Yep. Is that Sandai? I can't remember these names. These are really foreign to me for the most part, so apologize if I'm butchering names or forgetting them along the way. These are going to be going in that neutral there. Is this the King Gambit? That one is going up into a neutral. Man, I mean, the King Gambit, you look at just the one from Shrouded Fable, how that takes it to a whole nother level. I think we got all these accounted for. Maybe not the Clauncher, but we can get there. The stuff is going on with my computer, sorry. Again, just this warm. It's dull. It's a dull tone for me. Palmont, Fido. We're gonna fly through some of these here. Let's just do it. Let's get through some of these neutral ones that I think we're even into a not going to last there. I don't know. It's just they're so it's the worst. I feel like it's the worst that I'm like really itching to say boring, but trying to avoid it. As we get through this, hey, we're getting a little bit more color, a little bit more life, a little bit more scenery. Something's happening here. I kind of like that. That's stacking up to be a little bit better, in my opinion. Again, these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree with them. In fact, if you disagree, I'd love to hear a conversation on that. We're going to go into a few of the still art. I think there's a lot of scenery here. You got him just clipping that little grass there like he's just out mowing his own yard, you know? So I like the storytelling in here. A little bit of the green and blue, and green and blue. You have this nice pattern happening, a lot of texture, even though it's not a textured card, so don't be confused by that. Scovillian, another decent one. Not a fan favorite here. I'm not interested in this Pokemon per se, but the scenery is kind of interesting, hanging out at this like cafe or whatever's going on. So a little bit more to that story. Squovet, just a domesticated little squirrel, just being here in the home, hanging out, kind of gives it a little bit more life. I think the storytelling takes it to another level here. Starly, this is really nice. There's a good surrounding here. This is really reminiscent, and actually vice versa probably, of the Eevee from Twilight Masqurade, where there's a lot of that Pokemon in there kind of interacting with one another. So a flock of Starly is good here. A little flock of Eevees is a good card. I don't think this needs pushed to $40-$50 like that one, but also a lot of these are just undervalued in my opinion. If you're looking to just pick up some relatively good artwork across the board on these illustration rares, Scarlet and Violet base is the place to start. It definitely has a lot. Obsidian Flame's another good one. We're kind of going through in a similar feel. I like this one here. I think we're actually pushing it a little bit further up the tier there. So let's clean this up a little bit further here. We got a few that are making the jump and getting the leap into that still art where there's a little bit more to offer. I'm not feeling on that one there. The Starly is in that still art. Right here we go. Here we go. Things are starting to clean up and looking good here. I don't know if it's just me, but the Pokemon might be what's doing it. I'm really into that neutral zone over here when it gets to that, was it the Wiglet? Quite a few here. That Slowpoke is kind of cool. There's a little bit there. It's Slowpoke, but I don't want to go that far on this. I just don't think I have enough to get me there in some of these bringing into that true artwork just yet. We're really having trouble getting there. It's looking better though. It is looking better. I'm gonna make the jump here, and I'm gonna start on some of these true artworks because I think there's a few here. The Ralts, Curlia, Garbodor line, awesome. You see it growing with the family, evolving with the family. It's just the evolution of a lifetime. It's a really great storytelling in there, and actually it's so obviously good that it's quick to just say this is beautiful and move on. We're going to take a second on that Garbodor, but it's definitely going to make it because I want those three together and how they work well together. So that's just absolutely beautiful right there. And another one we can make a quick jump on here. I think we got some color, some movement, a lot happening there. I think there's enough to say there's still art here. The Riolu, same kind of thing. There's a lot happening in that one. Just looks like he was pumping some iron, lost control, went crazy, and that look you get from your dog when you get home, where they did something they weren't supposed to and they know it and they're just like, what? I didn't do that. And that's all they're telling you, even though you know for sure. Drowsy, this one's pretty nice. I don't know if we can go to true artwork just yet. There's a lot here. Very small, very insignificant in the frame. So the scenery becomes the story, becomes the card, becomes the art, and it's just a totally different style. It tells a lot to it. I like how the chaos in this paint style, a little bit wild when you start getting into the depth of this, that these faces are somewhat creepy, you know. They're staring at you, and it's a little uncomfortable. It's I don't know. I think it's interesting enough that it elicits conversation. Dondozo, I don't think you're going to make it. I think we're in the still art. It's nice. There's a lot there, but I don't think we're going to make it. Do we have any other illustration rares? Did we hit it? We did. Let's go into special illustration rares. Let's be realistic here. Spidops is a turd. I can't stand it. I cannot stand Spidops. And you know what? It's because this set was easy to pull. I pulled two. I've pulled 4 special illustration rares, but 2 of them were Spidops. Like, come on. Had to pull the worst one twice. Not cool. Also, as far as artwork goes, it's somewhat boring. It's very simplistic in its design, but not in a comfortable way. There's sometimes, you know, like beauty in simplicity. This one is simple and who cares? You know, like it's just underwhelming, very boring. So we're tossing it. Sorry. Into the not going to last, all the way down there. Here we go. The trainers would probably be the next little category to be looking at. Jacques has some good storytelling going on here. We got the wind blowing in, the light pouring in here, looking like he's working hard. Got the cup of coffee here that's gone. So, you know, we've all been in that mode where we've done a lot of hard work and we're just so tired we're going to pass out on the desk. So I feel like it's relatable. It's interesting there. I don't know if we get to true artwork, but let's take a look. Arvin's similar. There's a little bit of happening here, but even lesser so. So I don't know if we get to move in that direction. Penny, I think this one had a lot of hype right when it first came out, and it faded so quickly. The price has tanked on this one, and it is absolutely stunning. I love the way the light pours in, this depth here. You know there's a window here without seeing it, and another, and another. You have that pattern, this believable scene of this dust in the air feel hanging out over the desk there. Like all of it's kind of working for me on Penny. So let's get these going here. We're gonna get all the way to the neutral. We're aiming neutral on these. So that's gonna be in the neutral zone. Jacques, I think, is gonna be in that still artwork. Penny is going up to the true art. I know the price doesn't quite reflect it, but I think the artwork speaks for itself in that way. We got a few more. We talked about Garbodor a little bit, but I don't want to miss that again because there's more to say for sure. Iron Treads and Great Tusks, these could have been easily very related in the way they were designed, and they are 100% different. Great Tusks is absolutely awesome. It's really fierce. It's energetic. It's wild and chaotic. Iron Tusk is kind of there, really just there. So we're gonna go into the neutral zone for that one, but we're all the way up here. So this one, the fact that the spread is that far apart on these two that similarly could have had a style that was kind of a yin and yang or something, and really working together, I think there would have been a lot there to it. So the Koraidon and Miraidon EX, gotta love these. I'm sorry, you just have to. There's this great, you got the urban environment here, you have the jungle environment there, whole lot happening here. The Pokeball making a little cameo there in the form of a lamp inside. Fido just looking out at this legendary Pokemon, wondering what's going on, floating through the city. And then you have the Koraidon with the little Dedenne in the foreground. These two are fantastic, and actually, if you view them differently, right now Koraidon is facing off that way, Miraidon is angling the body this way. If you actually switch it so they're kind of working in together, it actually mirrors really nicely, and there's this duality between them of competition. So I know it would be out of order and everything like that, whatever, as far as a binder would go, but just pairing artworks, just for the way you lay things out in this format here, side by side, they actually pair really nicely where they're working in towards the center, and they have some complete opposite feels there. The Miriam, the top chase of the set for the longest time. Crazy prices, down to almost nothing in comparison to some of these other sets. $22.50 for the market price, absolutely wild. Beautiful artwork, 100%. Home run all the way. Very flat in its design, which would usually be a big drawback on how you're going to appreciate it, or if you're going to appreciate it. And the fact that it was such a flat design, but the storytelling created a lot of depth. This angle, corner to corner, obvious leading line, very good top. You know, we here in the States, we would read top to bottom, left to right. So having that diagonal leading you top to bottom, left to right, is going to just give you a little psychology, a little psychological bump in the right direction of this flow. This is good. That angle is always good. When you're looking at artwork, it's an easy way to use it for you. Now you have the windows behind, and just every little thing is an obvious frame by being an actual frame of other pieces and components putting it together. So Miriam, I could go on a lot longer for sure, I could, but we need to get to what I think is the card of the set. And I'm surprised it took this long to become the chase, and at only $26.63 for the market price. Let's see what a Nearmint's actually going to cost you on this. There's so many available. $30. $30 on a Nearmint there. It's absolutely gorgeous card. I'm so glad I was able to pick that up and get that in the binder. I have this complete as a master set, so it was a fun set to complete because it's so affordable. You get that payoff, that reward of, I did it, I caught them all. You know, like it takes a lot of time and energy, but it is a fun one to do if you want to complete a master set. This is a great one to go for. At these prices, I can't understand why it's so affordable, but it is fantastic. It was printed into oblivion. Pull rates were easy. I do understand why it's affordable. However, I'm surprised that the value hasn't been going up more steadily. So, I mean, even here, my goodness, let's take a look. Last year, we were at like that $22 mark, $20 mark for a long time. I was, that's where I picked it up. It was like 20, and then it shot way up, $35. Okay, that's way up. And that was the May fall off from the alt art hype in the beginning of the year of 2024, right? So now we're leveling back out and kind of correcting ourselves here. But again, you're down in one range, you shoot to the top, you correct, but you're going to correct higher than you previously were. So we'll see that stair-stepping in the long form for many years. It's going to take a long time when it comes to this card and this set in particular. So good opportunity to pick up inexpensively now, complete a binder, put it together, and just have this awesome artwork, the storytelling, the final chapter of this lifetime. This family came together, had a family of their own, and Curly was a part of it. Then you get to their retirement age and just enjoying life for what it is with Garbodor there as part of the family over time. So really great story from the three of them, and really great storytelling individually as you go. But definitely the top tier of the set. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is this pretty okay here? This was a pass. I just didn't want to even discuss the full arts and EX cards, not worth the time. I've wasted too much of it anyways. True artwork, I think it's pretty tight there. You may have some alternates that you'd want to swap in or out from the still art category. Maybe I'm off. Maybe there's some that hit really hit home for you in the neutral and not going to last. I'd love to hear about it. You can use that in your comments. But like usual, I take a step back and look at it from this perspective now and see that this category seems to be tight. It fills in the same way. It feels good. They seem to meet that standard, in my opinion, and the still artwork is a step down. Some are getting close. That Dondozo gets close. I think it really does. But it's still just not quite there for me. There's not enough. Just a little bit more could have happened in that. And I could speculate all day of the thousands of possibilities you could do just to change that art and into a favorable status to true artwork. In my own opinion, again, this gets very granular, very singular, but I love the conversation that comes out of this, even though these are my least viewed videos each week. Just saying. They're the least viewed, and they're the ones I am, like, insanely excited about every time. So, I don't know, this one might just be for me, and hopefully it's for you a little bit. Maybe I can get something else for you. Maybe I can get you this Galarian Articuno tin from Crown Zenith. Maybe I can get you 2 of the 3-pack blisters from Stellar Crown, or maybe I can get you a Pokemon Mystery Prize, because I have 4 prizes going to 4 winners. Go back to the beginning of the video. I jump right into what you need to do, but I don't think I specified that we need to hit 2,500 subscribers to make that giveaway happen. And once we reach it, I'm excited. I can't wait to just pump these out and get them out. I'll ship anywhere in the world. I want to make sure you get them and have an opportunity to have some great cards and open them up and have a good fun time pulling some amazing chase cards, hopefully, out of those packs. And I post 7 days a week, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You got to go ahead and hit that bell. 7 days a week, that's pretty crazy. But with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.